Hi there, this is the ICP Wyckoff session. If you're new to this, these are the key takeaways you can expect. I'll cover the Wyckoff stages, both current and coming, for ICP in both weekly and daily time frames. Also, I'll cover the key price levels where ICP would find support or resistance, and also any breakout timing that the charts are indicating to us. So let's start with the weekly chart of ICP. Here we're seeing a potential confirmation of the spring in the Wyckoff stage. So we have put in this tag for a few sessions already, saying because 2 years ago, around the same time, September, October time, it happened in a similar sense where we've got a spring during that accumulation cycle. And now, coincidentally, around the same period, the price came back to the same level around the red dashed line of around $2.84. So that's the current situation. However, if you look back over here, that spring period lasted for 6 weeks. Currently, we're just about 2 weeks in. So there's still a chance for it to trade within this area, this triangle. If I enlarge it, because you may be watching on a mobile device, so it's better to make it as large as possible. So this triangle, I'll talk about this in like a little bit more detail when we get to the daily chart, because this one is not showing us the exact date over here. It's by the beginning of the week. So you see the price last week got rejected from the bottom edge of the previous downward channel. Likewise for this week, even though the price has climbed from the previous close, it traded within a narrower range with a smaller volume as well. So it's not surprising if the price continues to trade kind of narrow, like within this triangle. So expect the spring not to be over very soon, unless there's some crazily good news coming out, like the tariff game is finally over, or like I don't know, whichever war in whatever location around the world finally comes to a solid peace deal. Okay, those are not easy things, but if those are resolved, that's a big booster for the price to be able to reclimb or like blast through these resistances and reclimb to a level where it will show us a sign of strength. Okay, so it's not a very exciting time, or depending on how far you look into the timeline, if ICP is going to reclimb to a new distribution cycle, hopefully somewhere close to December last year, that whatever we are going through now, if we know that it's going to get there, not that it's absolutely going to that point, I'm just saying if that happens, then it's like a over 3% or close to 4% climb, right? So that's the exciting part within this not so exciting period, while the price seems to be seeking the bottom. And one caveat also, if you're new to this, in previous sessions I mentioned this purple line as well, this purple dashed line over here. Why I have drawn this line? Because nothing in ICP history since 2022 has touched this point. It was actually the October 10th that the price went to that particular level. So positive thinking is that point is already the lowest. Let's assume that way, using an optimistic mind. Not that it can't go further, it definitely can, but let's hope that's the absolute bottom, at least for the near future. If that's where the panic has caused people to push the price to that level, and that's where the whales or the composite man in Wyckoff's term scooped up a bunch of stock, that's where they start to plan their next move to push the price to a distribution where the small fishes start to FOMO in, much like what happened here, or even here. Okay, so let's hope for that to happen. Okay, while there's still room for the price to go deeper. Because after spring, not for ICP chart, but in other charts that in my other sessions, you have probably seen even after the spring, the price can go pretty low. I'm just trying to reveal the entire possible scenario to you, so you won't be caught off guard thinking upside is the only direction for the next month or so. Okay, so the hope or the wishful thinking is this is finally near the end for accumulation, and the good time is about to come, but we still have to wait for confirmation signs. Okay, before we get to the daily chart, just quickly checking the Bollinger Band counter squeeze. Previously, the squeeze started sometime around early July or late June, and the October 10th event triggered a move that caused the lines to go outside, meaning breaking the squeeze. However, the swing isn't like that big for the time being, so there's a chance that a bigger swing is on the way while this is like stabilizing, and hopefully that swing will swing to the upside first at least before it comes back down. Okay, also one more thing, because I always have to consider there are new joiners to the community. This line over here, this is a declining peak trend line, meaning the previous two distribution cycles, their climaxes are lower one after the other. So what we hope to see if we are really coming to a new distribution cycle is that the price shoots above this. Given the timing where we are now, it's better for the price to shoot above this green key level of 8.66, because that will essentially mean this trend lines is virtual, it's non-existent. It's just my over worry. Let's consider it that way. Okay, I always try to observe these kind of things, because if this trend line is really impacting the price of ICP, of how high it can go, meaning this time from this point onwards climbing to that level, it's only about 200% of gain. Not too bad, okay? 200% is not bad. But looking at the previous selling climax around this level, okay? To here, it's 200% is actually better than what happened. Let's try the orange line to here. It was 170. However, the point here is why we're having a 200%. It's because the price dropped way too low compared to the previous accumulation cycle. So we definitely don't want that to happen. Compared to the 2003-2004 climax, from that point to the buying climax top, that was 650%. So that's why this is important. So if, given we are assuming we are rebounding from the same level, last time it was 650%, okay? If this line is really restraining the surge, ending at this green key level, that's only 200%. You see that the challenge here is the return is less than a third of what people had 1.5 years ago. Okay, so let's hope this white line, this white dashed line, doesn't exist. Okay, it's only let's hope it's only my drawing, not that it really is going to impact the. I want to change it to red just to make sure it tells us it's not a good line over there. Let's break it and show that ICP can go or can do better than that. Alright, so pretty long story to start with. It's time to get to the daily and see whether there are, or what exactly are the breakout dates. Okay, let's use auto, it's quicker. Yeah, this is still around here because, like I said, is the spring going to end here, or is it like whatever happened on October 10th is where the spring going to end up? So this particular 2 to 3 weeks is actually something that we can draw lines on. Alright, let's change this back to, no, want to change the line color, let's say to yellow for the time being. I want to enlarge it further, so if you're watching on a mobile phone, you'll see what I'm drawing. Okay, so you can simply say that is pointing towards November 7th. Okay, from this tomorrow to November 7th, that's about 10 days, 10 to 11 days. And if the price really got, like, still getting rejection from this yellow dashed line, that means it's going to travel along this little triangle over here. And when it gets to that point, it's the time for the big guys to tell us, okay, are we really going to climb back this time, or are you guys going to try to push the price to trade between the purple dashed line and the red dashed line? Okay, those are the two scenarios when the breakout happens, anytime from now till November 6th or 7th. One positive thing is these 4 days, including today, the price broke outside of this trend. So I have shared last time, I believe, that a breakout will happen sometime in the middle of the week. Just it happened 2 days ago that this downtrend has been broken. So it's a confirmation that the smaller downtrend is not continuing. So that's a good sign. It stopped right here. So let me I want to shrink the box, but let's keep it like this, because if it really comes down, the top edge will become a support. I want to see that if it really happens. So this downtrend that lasted for 20 days, eventually, or 21 days, got confirmed that it's no longer continuing on Thursday. So this is a first positive sign, but we have multiple breakout confirmation coming. So if this continues to trade sideways, that's a good sign, because it's, in the end, what's going to happen is going to travel back into the previous less steep declining trend, and maybe that's when it's going to break above that eventually. Okay, so we've got one positive confirmation for now, and we're hoping to see the next positive confirmation in 10 days or less. Alright, so that's ICP. Very long explanation. Hopefully that helps clarify what's going on right now and what to expect like coming. So positive, but this may not have finished yet, so just be careful, and there's still downside risk seeing what happened on the 10th. Alright, trade safe and wish everybody good luck.